Salut! Whether you are on another continent and you want to visit France, or you are an European and you want to travel fast, or even if you're already in France but you want to soar into the air in a giant bird made of metal and marvelous technology, then you will probably end up in a French airport at some point. I want to give you some tips and words so you don't get lost in the wrong terminal, surrounded by French-speaking only people having to watch your plane take flight without you. I'm Géraldine. Bienvenue sur Comme une Française TV. Sound French, even to the French. Let's dive in. L'aéroport is a French airport. To be clear, it's aéro and not aréo. Mixing this pronunciation is a common mistake that even French children often make. If you fly to France, you will probably land in a Parisian airport. The biggest one is Paris-Charles de Gaulle. Paris-Charles de Gaulle, also known as Roissy-Charles de Gaulle, or simply Roissy. It's situated 23 kilometers north from the center of Paris. It's one of the biggest airports in Europe and the world. The airport is used mostly for international flights. Meanwhile, you also have Orly. It's a French name for l'aéroport de Paris-Orly. Paris-Orly, the second Parisian airport. It's located 14 kilometers south from Paris. It's a smaller and faster airport that can fly you to other French cities, European countries, Northern Africa, and the Middle East. Both airports are accessible by Parisian public transportation like the suburban train Le RER. Further from Paris itself, you might land at l'aéroport de Paris-Beauvais. L'aéroport de Paris-Beauvais. This airport has been getting more and more popular in the last decade thanks to the company Ryanair that uses it for its cheap flights. The airport is located 70 kilometers north from Paris, which is an hour-long trip by car or bus, and technically it isn't part of the Parisian area anymore. However, they set up special buses to carry passengers between Paris and the airport for around 16 euros. Finally, you might decide to land in another city altogether. There are other airports with international destinations scattered across the country, the other major ones being Nice, Marseille, Lyon, and Toulouse. Also, from any of these airports, you can take the train and even rent a car if you need to. I've talked about our railway system and gave tips on renting a car in France in previous episodes. You can find them on the blog post for this video in the video description below. Un avion is a plane. Un avion is a plane. Acheter un billet d'avion is buying a plane ticket. It's the first thing to do if you want to fly, of course. You want to find un vol, a flight that fits your budget, your desires, and your availabilities. You might prefer une compagnie aérienne, an airline company, over another, like the famous Air France, the main French airline company. Or maybe you would rather choose un vol low cost. Yeah, it's a low-cost flight, and that's how we say it in French, as we stole the word from the English language for marketing reasons. And don't forget to check the validity of le passeport, the passport. Prendre l'avion means taking a plane. For example, quoi, Michel, tu n'as jamais pris l'avion? Quoi, Michel, tu n'as jamais pris l'avion? What do you say, Michel? You've never flown before? When you want to take a plane, you have to enter the airport first through l'aérogare. L'aérogare, that word designates all the buildings that the passenger can access in an airport. It's kind of a synonym for un terminal. However, there might be several terminals in the same airport, so don't go to the wrong one. Terminals are used for both les départs, departures, and les arrivées, arrivals. There, you might need to go to le comptoir d'enregistrement. Le comptoir d'enregistrement, the check-in counter, to register les bagages, your luggage. Usually you are allowed un bagage cabine, a carry-on bag, and you might have to pay for un bagage en soute, un bagage en soute, hold baggage. Then you will also need to follow directions to la porte d'embarquement. La porte d'embarquement, the boarding gate. At some point, you have to go through la sécurité. La sécurité, security. Mostly le portique, security scanning stations, and la fouille, a pat down. When your plane is ready on le tarmac, you can start l'embarquement. L'embarquement is boarding, l'embarquement. You find votre siège, your seat, which we'll also call une place. And then it's time for le décollage, take off, and soon enough, it's l'atterrissage, landing. Et toi, how did your last plane flight go? Practice your French and tell me in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. If you're watching this on YouTube, click on the link below this video and you will get to the special blog post on comminfrancaise.com where I read all the comments and answer all your questions as well. And for you right now, I have much more, like an exclusive lesson on the worst French puns in history, for example. Subscribe now on the site and join my everyday French crash course. It's a free 10-day mini course to sound French even to the French. It's super easy to join. Leave me your first name and your email and you will receive lesson 1 immediately. Best of all, it's all free. Merci for watching Comme une Française TV, sound French even to the French. Allez, salut!